I'm live, I think. Am I live? Let's take a look. I am live. Do we have audio? I think we do. Cool. All right, let's bring that down. I don't know how this works. I don't stream on YouTube very often, so we will see how this works. That's not the right message. Let's get out of that. They're going to tell me I'm live. Yes, it is. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's see, where else? Here. All right. My speaking volume is very low. All right, well, I appreciate that. I'm also being very quiet. Let me turn the volume. All right, is that any better? Is that any better, snack bar? If it's not, let me know. I can keep screwing around with it, but the levels look okay on my end, so. Got it. Let's keep chat up there. Much better. Thank you, sir. Turn the camera on. Boom. And we are good to go. So I don't know what the plan is here for tonight. It was just sort of an impromptu thing last night where I decided I wanted to do a live stream. I don't have a ton of spare time here over the next really 4 months. So I wanted to get a live stream in here while I could. The next 4 months for me are going to be very, very busy. I've got, I was recently asked, I guess, I don't know what the right term is, but I'm going to be doing play-by-play broadcast or on-air broadcast for Chicago State men's and women's basketball and the Windy City Bulls, which is G League professional basketball. So that's going to be taking up the overwhelming majority of my nights and weekends here over the next 4 months. So looking forward to that. But tonight, I think, is going to be Draft Day Sports Pro Football. So, and I will tell you, for those of you who are watching this live for the first time or watching it after the fact, I'm not a very good streamer. I do the best I can, but this just isn't my bag, but it's fun. Oh, your son played for the Lakeland Magic. No kidding. When? How long ago? Because I did Windy City previously in 2018 and 2019. And then obviously 2020 was a no-go, and then 2021 I didn't do it, but I'm going to be doing it this season. That's cool. That is very cool. I'm only going to be doing the home game, so I won't be traveling at all, but neat. Small world type stuff, I guess, right? Anyway, all right, so we're week like 12 or something, right? Week 13, somewhere in there. Week 15. We are in week 15. We are 8-5. 8-5. It's been he played last year. Okay. Is he playing anywhere this year? Yeah, so we're 8-5 now. We started, we're 4-0, 6-1, something like that. So won our first 4, then we lost a game to the Falcons, and we won 4 out of 5. But the last 3 games have been ugly: 37-8, 48-9, 33-13. We're still in first place, but the last 3 weeks have been. I was playing in Lithuania. That's cool. That is very cool. You can get a lot of playing time in Europe if you're willing to go out there. So that's pretty. The only reason I have this gig this year is because a friend of mine who is normally on the broadcast team for the Windy City Bulls took a job as the play-by-play guy for the Brisbane Bandits in the Australian Baseball League. So he flew out to Australia at the beginning of this week, and I'm filling in for him while he's gone. So, yeah, pays to make friends and pays to make those contacts. So I'm filling in for him while he's gone. All right, so we're gonna jump right in here. So we're down. We've lost 3 games in a row. We got the Eagles, the Titans, the Vikings, and the Bengals up now. Are there anything we want to do before we jump in? I mean, we can take a look at the roster, make sure everybody's healthy. Got Jonah Jackson questionable with a migraine. Amon-Ra St. Brown is questionable with a hamstring. And that's it. So we're a relatively healthy team. Corey's played in 10 countries. Wow, he must love the game, man. You know, it's like one of the things that I do during baseball season is the Chicago Dogs, which is an independent league team it's the American Association, teams from Texas up to Winnipeg, and you really just run into people who play because they love the game, right? Like, they're not making a ton of money. Like, I know, the average G leaguer makes like $40,000 a year or something like that. Like, it's just a stupid salary. So you play the game for the love of the game. So he must really, really love it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We're gonna stick with our strategies the way they are. I think I don't think we need to do a whole lot. We have Jamal Williams as our main back right now, right? Or is it still DeAndre Swift? I want it to be Williams because he's a better overall back. It is. Okay. And then under offensive package 2, that should be switched. It is. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start simming ahead. And I did, those of you who are watching this after the fact, I did in my college football Let's Play, I did export the draft class for the year we just ended with Boston College. So those players should, in theory, be available if I upload this properly when we get to that point. So that's kind of my goal, is to get through the rest of this season, get through the draft, and get to the start of next season here in this live stream. We'll see how it goes, though. What game is this, Reed? This is Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2023. It's made by Wolverine Studios. In my opinion, it is the best football simulation out there. Still not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination, but there's just the link to their website. But it is, if you are a sim guy and you're not a lover of all things Madden, then this is a very, very cool alternative. And for someone like me, who the hand-eye coordination isn't what it was 10 or 15 years ago, this game is perfect. So we're going to go ahead and sim. And we'll do what we normally do. We'll watch the highlights, which are still a little janky. I hope that someday they kind of sort this out. But yeah, the highlights are still a little janky. You are very welcome, Reed. Yeah, so the game doesn't have official licensing like Madden does, but there's a very, very easy mod that you can download off of the website that gives you real world logos and players and coaches and everything else. So it's a free mod. The modding community for the Wolverine games is outstanding. So makes it all very, very simple. So let's see what we got here. So off the bat, they're going to get a touchdown. So that's not, we're already getting off to a poor start here. And I'm going to mute the sounds. Yeah, Reed, for sure. That's 100%, man. They have, they've got pro football. They've got college football. They have pro basketball and college basketball, and they're fantastic. Yeah, their basketball games I think are further along than their football games are, but still all really really solid games. So, all right, well, we'll get through this. Actually, we already saw that highlight, so let's move forward. Yeah, it's been a rough month. We started out 6-2. We're now 8-5. We're down 13-3 here in the second quarter. Zen GM. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with Zen GM. Mike Hughes, is that a pick six? No. Is it similar, Snack Bar? Is it similar to Wolverine? 'Cause I mean, I'm always, like Reed said, I'm always looking for a good sim. I mean, it's not like I don't have enough time, or it's not like I have an excess of time, but I like to play stuff offline as well too. And I find myself playing most of these games less and less offline, and more of them online. Doing my live streams or whatever. So, we're gonna get. Yeah, we lose again. We lose again. Is it okay? But still, I mean, I'm all for the little guy, so to speak. I mean, I've been an out of the park baseball guy for got almost 20 years. I've been playing out of the park baseball, and when I first started playing out of the park baseball, they were the little guy, right? I mean, they still technically are when you compare them to some of the other game manufacturers out there, but yeah, I've always been more fan of the little guys. All right, so we lose again. We lose 30-16. We do pick off Jalen Hurts a couple of times. Eagles ran it 30 times for 165. I mean, our offense is just terrible. I mean, Jared Goff is just awful. You really like the Zen GM stuff and Out of the Park 23. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been playing Out of the Park baseball since, I want to say Out of the Park 7, Out of the Park 8, somewhere right in there. And I've been a franchise hockey manager guy since year 1. And franchise hockey manager 9 comes out on Tuesday, so I'm really looking forward to that. Out of the Park was too complex for you. That's fair. I mean, if you don't know the sport, Out of the Park can be a little overwhelming. If you're looking for a good baseball sim that's maybe a little bit simpler than Out of the Park, you can go with Baseball Mogul. That's another one that I used to play. It's part of the reason I moved to Out of the Park baseball was I found Baseball Mogul to be a little bit too simplified for me. So yeah, that's another good one. Baseball Mogul's another one that I like. I haven't played it in a while, but again, it's a little simpler style of game. So we couldn't stop the run. Miles Sanders 58 yards, Gainwell 50, Jalen Hurts had two rushing touchdowns. Williams had an okay game, but yeah, our passing game's just awful. 4 losses in a row. I mean, is it time to make a switch at quarterback? We did pick up, for those of you who are just checking in, yeah, Baseball Mogul Classic, but really easy. Yeah, it's a simpler game. If you don't want to have to focus on quite as much, Baseball Mogul is not a bad option. So we picked up Kenny Pickett this year, about halfway through the season, and maybe we go to Pickett because we're certainly not going to have Goff on the team beyond this year with that contract. You can see here's our cap space right now. We have $70 million in cap space. We will be moving on from Jared Goff in the offseason. So I think let's just do it. Let's just go to Kenny Pickett here in the final month of the season. Goff has been awful. We can change the strategy around a little bit. I can't trade Goff at this point. We're past the trade deadline. The one thing that this game struggles with is the financials. And there are ways that you can tweak that, and I may have to tweak it in the offseason, but there's no such thing as dead cap space. So I can cut Jared Goff at the end of the year without any cap hit and just free up $30 million in cap space. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so passing preference, we're going to expand the passing preference a little bit. We're going We're going to leave everything else the way it is, though. Passing the main target will be T.J. Hawkinson. And we'll see how things go with Pickett. Yeah, I don't, especially with Goff's contract, no one's going to want him with $30 million. Even if we could still trade him with $30 million, nobody would want him. So we're going to Pickett at home against Tennessee. And we'll watch the highlights and see what happens. Pickett is sacked. Okay. Okay, so they're going to get a touchdown here early. We're down 7-0. There's a sack by Aiden Hutchinson. That's what we like to see. Get another touchdown? Yeah. Yeah, not a good game. So not a lot of highlights, not a lot of offense, not a lot of anything. Pickett is sacked, and it looks like we're going to lose 19-3. Yeah, that was the last highlight. Yeah, I still wish that this was something that they would fix, I guess, are these highlights. I don't want to say it makes it, I don't know. I don't know what it makes it, but I wish they would do something with the highlights. So Pickett's first game, not good. 12 of 37 for 91 yards. We are now 8-7. We were 6-1. And we are now 8-7 and run the risk of missing the postseason. Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to stick with Pickett at this point. There's no reason not to. Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize how loud they were, but in a lot of these games, you guys can't hear because I don't know how to set it up. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a particularly good streamer. So I don't even know, I don't know how to mess with OBS and screw with the audio. So it either works or it doesn't. In some games it works, in some games it doesn't. So, all right. So we have quite a few free agents. I don't know that we really want to bring any of them back. That's not where I want to go. I want to go here. All right. So Anzalone, I mean, he's had a good season. 94 tackles, 4 sacks, a pick. What does he want? He wants 2 years of a heavily front. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. Heavily front-loaded contract. Pays him $6 million next year, then only 2.9 the year after that. They want 3 though. Yeah, I guess that takes him till he's 30. And again, it's a reasonable deal for someone who's 27. We don't have a ton of talent, really. I mean, we've got a handful of decent players that are locked up beyond this year, but we don't have a great team. Evan Brown is our backup center. Yeah, he wants too much money. And if you can hear the wind, it is really windy here in Chicago today. We've had gusts of up to 55 and 60 miles an hour today. It's been crazy outside. So if you can hear it, that's why. All right, so our punter, we should bring our punter back. 85 overall. He wants a 3-year minimum contract, 2 years, $3 million. We have a decent punter. We've got $1 billion in cap space, so we may as well. Sure, 2-year, $3.1 million contract. That'll work. All right, so we're 8-7. We were 6-2, so we are 2-5 in our last 7 games or whatever that is. Sorry about that if that was loud. At home against the Vikings now. All right, let's go. Overtime. We got an overtime win. Overtime game, I should say, not a win. Big win there. Big game here, though. This is a divisional game. So they get the first highlight. It's touchdown pass. Of course it is. But at least I know we get the score back since we go into overtime. All right, so we get a rushing touchdown there for Jamal Williams. Cousins back to pass. He's sacked by Jordan Willis. There's another sack, this time by Anzalone. Big run for DeAndre Swift. We have the ball on the 1. Pickett with his first touchdown pass. There we go to Rondale Moore. They're going to get a touchdown here. We're going to go to overtime. And are we going to win or lose in overtime? Let's see. We're not going to see it. Oh, we fumbled it. We fumbled it. Did we? Yeah. Za'Darius Smith recovered the fumble, and my guess is Minnesota kicks a field goal and we lose. I would imagine that is what happened. No, we win. We won 20-17. Let's go. Victory for the Detroit Lions. I wish it would show a game-winning field goal as a highlight, but we win. So we break that losing streak. We improved to 9-7. Kenny Pickett, still not a great game. But didn't turn the ball over. 21 of 42, $182, and his first professional touchdown. That was a make-or-break game for sure. DeAndre Swift had a good game, 14 for 97. Touchdown pass was to Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore was another trade acquisition. We traded Michael Brockers, who was making like $10 million a year, and a 7th-round pick in 2025. For the 22-year-old Rondale Moore. And when it comes to wide receivers in this game, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to their overall. I look at 2 ratings. I look at their speed and I look at their hands. And he had a good combination of both at only 22 years old. So, yeah. So, sorry, I can just hear some noise. I don't know if that's my neighbors or I can hear people talking. Anyway. So we win. Yeah, huge game for us. Week 17. Got the Bengals coming up in week 18. So we're in first place still. You know what, guys? Hang on a second. I need to know where these people are coming from because I shouldn't be able to hear people in my office. Hang on. All right. Yeah, my neighbors are having like a gathering outside, which is strange given that it's like 45 degrees outside with like 50-mile-an-hour winds. And I just ran up the stairs, so I'm out of breath. All right, so we're tied for first place with the Packers. We got the Bengals, who are 10-6, coming in. So big game here. It looks like, well, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of teams that are in that 9-6, 9-7. So we could win the division and we could miss the playoffs completely. It's weird. Based on the reveal, how optimistic are you for FHM9? I mean, you know, for what the yeah, I guess so, Josh. It's pretty awful outside, man. I told you earlier today that I had to go over to Home Depot this morning, and I was in my wife's minivan, and it was getting blown all over the road. Smelly Wrestling Geek. I mean, I'm always optimistic when it comes to these games because, you know, I know that For me, I know how much Jeff loves hockey. And because of how much Jeff loves hockey, I know he's not going to put out a game that is going to be a mess, if that makes sense. There are some things that I wish were better, and I've talked about this in my Eastside Hockey Manager playthrough, that there are things about Franchise Hockey Manager that I wish they incorporated from EHM. But big picture, again, I don't think there is a better hockey sim than Franchise Hockey Manager. So I'm looking forward to it. I am. I got to figure out how I'm going to link together a college hockey playthrough and my Let's Play when that starts, which will be Tuesday night, by the way. That will come out. That first video will come out on Tuesday night. The game releases on the 9th. I will record a video first thing Tuesday as soon as I have time at work, and then I will get that video posted Tuesday evening. It's 80 degrees in Central Florida. Yeah. Yeah, Josh, that's what it was like here yesterday. So actually, that's what it's been like here all week. Is about 70 degrees and sunny, and tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 60s again, but today it's just absurd outside. So, all right, well, we got 1 week left. We got a game against the Bengals. It's a game we need, unless the Packers lose as well. So let's see how it goes. It's a road game, which isn't ideal, but first highlights for us, and that's a bad place to have a highlight. It's going to be completed pass and a fumble recovered by them. Yeah, Windy City, I guess. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. But I'm also about 40 minutes outside of Chicago, so it's not as if I'm, living in downtown Chicago. What's going on? Okay. Touchdown to Jamar Chase. We're down 7-0. Oh, good. Another touchdown for them. We're down 17-0. So Pickett hasn't been the answer. Pickett has not been the answer at all. 24-0. All right, well, that's enough of that. That is enough of that. We get shut out. Yeah, I didn't necessarily think Pickett was going to be our quarterback of the future. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't think Pickett was going to be our quarterback necessarily think that Pickett was going to be our quarterback of the future, but it at least gives us a backup quarterback at a reasonable price, depending on what the draft holds. Yeah, this was just an ugly game. They carried the ball 29 times for 450. Yeah, ugly. Burrow 25 of 36, 240 and 2 touchdowns. Mixon runs for 110. Chase 9 for 121. Not a good game of football for us. Anzalone has a sack, though. That's nice. Kuda has a forced fumble. Aiden Hutchinson a forced fumble and a sack. So we got a couple of pieces which are pretty good. Fox signed our offer. So we signed Anzalone and Fox, so that's good. And now we got to see how Green Bay does. Oof, Green Bay won. So I wonder if we missed the playoffs. 9-8. Yeah, we're gonna miss the playoffs. We started the season 4-0. We started the season 6-2. We went 3-6 in our final 9. We were 5-1 within our division, and we are going to miss the playoffs. So let's, I guess, quickly take a look at the team stats as the season comes to an end. Goff, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Threw for 2,800 yards. Pickett was really bad. We didn't turn the ball over much. Only 7 interceptions in 18 games or 17 games is not bad. But we just couldn't move the ball. We threw for 3,000 yards as a team. DeAndre Swift, 853 yards and a touchdown. It's a good 1-2 combination, Swift and Williams. Williams, 8 touchdowns, 4.5 yards rushing. He had a good year. He had a good season for us. Receiving wasn't great. Yeah, and we gotta get some sort of a threat downfield. St. Brown. I love the player pictures. Amon-Ra St. Brown looks like a 300-pound white offensive lineman. Anyway, led us in reception, 75 for 60. Yeah, we didn't have anybody other than Rondale Moore average more than 10 yards a reception. So not a good season offensively. You can see we were 25th in points per game, 19th in points allowed. There's some reason for optimism defensively. Jayon Brown, we actually signed as an undrafted free agent. I liked the tackling. I think bringing him back is reasonable. Given the year that he had, I would be fine with that. 114 tackles for him. Jeff Okudah, 23 years old. He still has 3 years left on his contract. Anzalone had a good year. Derek Barnes had a pretty good year. 7 sacks, 23 years old. He still has plenty of life left on his contract. Mike Hughes had a great year with 7 picks. Aiden Hutchinson missed a bunch of time, and he's out for the season again, but he had 4 sacks and 9 hurries. I think he only played like 4 games or 5. He played 10 games. Okay. So maybe he didn't have as great a year as I thought. 10 games. He had 9 hurries, 4 sacks, a forced fumble. I mean, he was okay. I mean, his ratings are good, though. So we have to hope that he continues to improve. We got him locked down long term. The biggest issue is that because we started off so good, we're going to end up with, a mid first round pick. We're not going to end up with a high draft pick. So there might be some trading in our future. You just need to go ahead and sim. So we are going to try to upload the draft class from Draft Day Sports College Football. I did upload that in my last Boston College video. So San Francisco defeats the Rams. Buffalo over Cincinnati. Jacksonville defeats the Chargers. Cowboys over the Commanders. Packers over the Eagles in a boring game. And the Titans beat the Broncos. So the divisional series, the Packers and the Bucks. Bucks shut the Packers out. Brady 23 of 28. Breeze, how are you, my friend? How are you today? Cowboys and Niners, 47-14. The Cowboys outscored the 49ers 40-0 in the second half. The Bills and the Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to the AFC title game as they defeat the Bills 41-21. Trevor Lawrence had a monster game. And the Titans and the Steelers goes to the Steelers. So the AFC title game is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars, while the NFC is going to be the Cowboys and the Bucks. I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing pretty well today. I have about a 12-day gap between broadcasts that I have to do. So I've got this window where I don't have any games, so I'm trying to just trying to relax a little bit and kind of do some fun stuff, play some video games and kind of get myself ready for the chaos that is going to be the next 4 months for me. All right, so the NFC title game, the Cowboys and the Bucks, goes to the Buccaneers. Tom Brady, 24 of 30, 292 yards and 2 touchdowns. And in the AFC, they will face the Pittsburgh Steelers, who defeat Jacksonville 21-3. Who is the quarterback for Pittsburgh? Mitch Trubisky has led the Steelers to the Super Bowl here in our first season. So Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl, and your Super Bowl champion. Josh, man, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Thanks, pal. Yeah, that's literally the first donation I have ever received on any of my streams. What is that, like I don't even know, is it like $1.20, $1.30? I don't have any idea how that works. But no, man, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very cool of you. So Super Bowl went to overtime. Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh goes to overtime, and Tom Brady with his 7th 8th Super Bowl championship as he defeats the Pittsburgh Steelers 23-17 in overtime. TB12, let's go. All right, let's go ahead. And Tim, I have the audio off, so it should go to the season awards. $1.40. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It pays for like a third of this, so thank you. Yeah, I have the audio off, so when it goes to the season awards, it shouldn't be loud, but we'll see. All right, so I mean, we can pick anybody, really. So they want us to go with Russell Wilson, 3,900 yards, 25 touchdowns. Doesn't look like there was a lot of offense this season. Okay, there's Mahomes with his 4,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. Pretty good year for Leonard Fournette. Honestly, I'm leaning Leonard Fournette, to be honest with you, just from looking at some of these stat numbers pretty at first glance. Geno Smith, 3,700 yards and 25 touchdowns. Tom Brady threw for 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. We're going to go Leonard Fournette as our MVP. Yeah, you can pick the winners. I mean, you could literally pick anybody you want. It's not, you're not casting a vote. You're just literally picking. So Brady will be the MVP, offensive MVP. Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly care, truth be told, about most of these. 7 forced fumbles for whoever this is for Washington. Blake Cashman, 4 sacks, 3 interceptions. Blake Cashman had a monster season. Yeah, we're going to go Blake Cashman. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know, 103 receptions, I think, is worthy of the Offensive Rookie of the Year, in my estimation. I'm fine with that. So we'll just advance, and it just gives them. The All-Star Bowl. I love it. I suppose I could change that, but let's just sim the game here. That's not what I wanted to do. I have no desire to go through and select Pro Bowlers. Did anybody from... Yep. Hughes made it. There's no surprise. Anzalone made it too. Okay. So we had 2 defensive players make it. Again, our defense is further along than our offense. And I think, is it now that we import, or is it after? Import draft players. Okay, import draft players, import from file. Now you guys get to see my, or do you? Are you going to get to see that? No, you can't see that. All right, good. You have bad news about Kyle Robinson? He's already out for 5 weeks. Did he get hurt even further? Let's see. There's gotta be Wolverine Studios, college football. Where do I put it? Is there a page for instructions? I think there is, but I'm going to sit here and screw around for a minute and see if I can find it. It's got to be here somewhere. Those are just exports. So I wonder if it's... Let's see if it's here. League, Eagles, draft class. What year are we in? 2022. 11-2. I don't know which one it is. It's that maybe. Yeah, no, yeah, Josh, he got hurt in the last sim, elbow tendonitis or something like that. All right, well, I imported it, so hopefully that doesn't screw everything up. Yeah, he's out for 5 weeks or something, so not ideal. But I don't care. I'm not gonna win anything in that league this year anyway. So, all right, well, let's sim and see if I didn't screw up the draft. All right. So let's see. Season start. Yeah, Breeze, there's a help file here. They don't really have like an instructional set, but there's like a help page where you can pull all that stuff up. So all right, so staff signing. Let's go to our staff. We are going to shit can everybody. Fire, fire, and fire. I want everybody gone. And let's hire some new people. What do we want? Let's start with our offensive and defensive coordinators. So I think, excuse me, sorry. This chair is not as comfortable as I would like it to be. Coach wants these guys want $7 million. That's absurd. I'm not paying a defensive coordinator $7 million. Wow, there are not a lot of good coaches out there. I guess that's something I should have. I think I can do it this way. No, I don't want to complete. Huh. Wow, it is windy out. I can actually feel the breeze. My office isn't exactly the most kind of locked down. Troy does not like gambling on defense. He prefers a West Coast hybrid. He runs a 3-4, top-notch cornerbacks. I kind of like this. Versatile linebackers. Can we sign Michael Choi? He wants 0 years at $4.6 million. What if I give you 3 years at $4.6 million? Yes, I said breeze. It is very, very breezy here in Chicago right now. These are okay. So these are all internal hires. Charisma. Vertical. It likes running from 3 wide receiver sets. Meh. Vertical smash mouth. Power formations. How can you run from a power formation without a fullback? Medium passes, the passing game, spreading it around to multiple targets. He looks okay, I guess. Different types of wide receivers. Ugh. I wonder if this is just a year one thing where there are no good coaches out there. Your house was built in 1860. It's super cool in summer. Yeah, that's the way my office is. My office is in it's above our detached garage. It's a finished space above the garage, and being that it's above the garage, it's not uber insulated to begin with. But I've got like windows on 3 of the 4 sides, and the window there, and actually those 2 windows, the one behind me and the one to my left, are old. So they're, and I actually, now that I realize, I still haven't taken my air conditioner down. I have an air conditioner in the window over there, and I still haven't taken that down. So that's part of the reason I can feel the wind, because I have to take the AC down. I have to take the air conditioner unit down first. We're gonna go Lawrence Gunther defensively because I like a linebacker heavy. I like linebackers. That's kind of my thing. I, Wrestling Geek. That's about 90% of what I do. When I'm not recording videos, I'm literally just like working with them on in the background. That is exactly what I do. Let's just hire Burrow Brown. He wants 4 years. I don't want to give somebody 4 years in case there's a better option next year. So let's go John Keller. Offensive coordinators. What am I doing? There we go. Let's go Theodore Tote. He wants a vertical style offense. I don't know that we have. We'll go Jason Robinson. We'll just offer. Yep. That is how I do it pretty much all the time, my man. Just something on in the background while I work. So, okay, so Choi is staying with the Chargers. So we still don't have a head coach. That's not terrific. 7. Let's just hire an internal head coach. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Matthew Duke. All right. Conservative West Coast 4-3. Fine. That is fine. The Kraken and FHM 8. You're starting up a new playthrough now, huh? With FHM 9 coming out in 3 days or whatever it is, 4 days. I'm really excited about that. I love release day for Out of the Park Baseball and Franchise Hockey Manager. Those are the two that I love. Like Out of the Park Baseball, I actually took the day off this year to play the game. So West Coast previously. He wants $7 million though. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to pay these guys $7 million. All right, let's just keep going. I want to get to the draft, man. I want to get to free agency, and I want to get to the draft. Speaking of free agency, goodbye. Just want him gone. Want him gone. Taylor Deckert. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but I think there's some benefit to having. I mean, he's 29. We got plenty of money. You'll be done for sure once. Yeah, okay, all right, that's fair. And that will be the team that we will be taking over in FHM 9 are the Seattle Kraken. That was where the voting landed. So that'll be the team we take over. You had a buddy at work ask about the game. He always sees you playing at work. Man, you sound like me. I get the computer I'm looking at. When I look to my left, I've got my second computer, which has got chat. And that's actually my work computer. So normally I'm sitting like this and I'm working, but I'm also like over here playing Out of the Park Baseball or, whatever it is. So, so that's kind of my setup. He's a big hockey fan. Of course, you're from Canada. You guys come out of the womb as hockey fans. Sent him a link to my Bruins playthrough, and the game has taken over his life. Well, good. I'm glad I could help get somebody else addicted. That is the entire reason I do this, because I think these companies and these games deserve more attention than they get. So can we sign from? Are we able to sign staff from other teams? Because it looked like a lot of teams were signing players, but I didn't have that option. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, whatever. All right, we're into RFAs. And if this is anything like last year, there are never any RFAs, so we'll probably be able to just skip through this. But we will take a look. Yeah, there are no RFAs. And I think, now that I think about it, I kind of want to trade Decker. 29 years old. He's making $15 million. So I want to look at, because it listed the draft order here just a minute ago. Where was it? I can never remember where it is. Is it here? No. League office. That's where I wanted to go. Yeah, see, I wonder if you can just go to these other teams and just offer them contracts, because none of these people were here when I was going in there. All right, so the Texans, the Patriots are picking third. Oof. All right, so I want to just kind of get an idea of the teams that are picking in the top half of the draft that maybe we can try to move some of our. And I'm not going to remember this at all, but we will see nonetheless. Start with the Patriots because I want to see if I can. I don't even know what I want to get, but you guys know I'm a Patriots fan, so let's see if. And they've got the cap space for it, so they want to trade a couple of bad tackles. We could get Bailey Zappi, a little Zappi mania. With running backs, they've got Harris. Ramondre Stevenson is really underrated here. Trent Brown, Isaiah Wynn. Yeah, I mean, their offensive line is fine. They've got 2 expensive tight ends. Some wide receivers that are okay. Tyquan Thornton's better than a 66. Come on, man. Judon, Juwan Bentley, Mac Wilson. If Jack Jones listed as 66. Marcus Jones is 24 years old. We get Marcus Jones? We want Marcus Jones for Taylor Deckert and a third. Does that get us anywhere close? Is that even a deal I want to? I kind of don't want to make that deal, truth be told. I want some offensive help. Primarily at, wide receiver, I guess. We've got some decent wide receiver talent. We're weak at linebacker. We're weak at I guess really technically we're weak everywhere, right? We're not a very good team. So it's just finding the best talent. Calvin Ridley's only a 78. 83 speed, 83 hands. Really? So would he... he's better than Raymond. Quintus Cephas, 82 hands. I think he's better than Cephas. He's better than Reynolds. Yeah, he and Moore would immediately become our 2 best wide receivers. Can we get Calvin Ridley for Taylor Deckert? It means we would need a tackle in free agency or in the draft. Let's just see what we can get here. They don't want to sell. I love how the game phrases it. They don't want to sell Calvin Ridley. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time in here because I do want to advance to the draft. But I want to see if there are options. Ooh, Stephon Diggs making $26 million. So one of the things that was suggested to me, and it's something I may do. Actually, it's something I should probably do here shortly, is change the maximum contracts and the minimum for that matter, and that will help eliminate some of the issues that we run into when we get to once we get through free agency and you're able to sign anybody you want for $500,000. So I don't even know what I'm looking for, honestly. I'm just sort of looking, seeing if anything stands out, if there's a player who's not making a ton of money that might be a good fit. Kmet, no. N'Keal Harry, no thank you. Jalen Johnson, they got some good cornerbacks on their team. Roquan Smith, they probably won't want to move him. There's an 87 overall, I doubt it. Stanley Morgan Jr. Big fan of the original Stanley Morgan. Logan Wilson. All right, let's just get up to the draft and then kind of see where we stand. See where we stand from there. So there are no restricted free agents. So let's just go ahead and complete RFAs. There are never any RFAs. I don't even know why they bother having this section in here. All right. So now it is time for free agency. We have a metric crap ton of money. And we'll see what's available. Tom Brady is available as a free agent, 99 overall. Mr. Brady, I think we will pass on him, though. We're going to pass on a lot of these guys. I don't need, mid-30s type players. But someone like TJ Edwards, 27 years old, 84 overall, 93 tackling. It's exactly what we're looking for. He wants 10 to 11.9. So let's give him 3 years at 12.5. Make him a key player and submit the offer. What do we got for quarterbacks? Anything? Or is this going to be a draft thing for us? Come on. What is this doing? There we go. Yeah, it's not good. That is not good. We can go after someone like Teddy Bridgewater. Matt Corral. 72 accuracy, 82 accuracy, 79 arm. That's an option just to kind of get us in case we're not able to draft somebody. I think it makes sense. Because we still have $93 million. All right, let's avoid that for now. Let's look at... Let's see if we can get a defensive end on the other side. Not a lot here. Not a lot here. Jadeveon Clowney, $16 million. Jordan Willis. Yeah, I don't want to... That's a lot of money to pay for some mediocre talent. Let's look at offensive linemen. Jack Conklin's the best blocker of the bunch, and he wants to get paid like it. So I guess it's a good thing we didn't trade Taylor Decker, because there's not a lot of talent here in free agency. Justin Pugh. Yeah, we've got 88 and 74. And we're fine at center. And it probably would behoove us to pick up a backup, but... Look at linebackers. So we already have money being thrown at TJ Edwards. Oh, right. Barnes and Brown were two of our guys, and neither of them wanted to come back. Best tackler of the bunch is John Bostic, but he's 32, and he wants $17 million. Melvin Ingram's 34 years old already. Jayon Brown, he was really good. So let's see if we can get him back. Let's make him a rotational player. 3 years front loaded. Let's bump this up to 8. And let's talk to Chris Barnes and see if we can get him back. He's only 25, so he's a rotational player as well. Let's bump him up to 5. I mean, heavy into linebackers, right? Just improve our linebacker room, especially if we can get TJ Edwards in. Yeah, because that'll give us Edwards, Brown, Barnes, and Anzalone as our top 4. That would be pretty cool. Cornerbacks. Darius Phillips, 27 years old, 88 speed, 72 hands. wants 10 to 13 million. Nick Needham wants the same. Eli Apple wants the same. Nick Needham I like. I like the tackling. Speed's not quite there, but he's a better tackler and he's younger. Does he become our number 2? He wants 2 years. Let's do 2 years at 13. I mean, we may as well front load these things with the amount of cap space we have and the lack of talent here in free agency. I mean, we don't another tight end? I mean, go alongside Hawkinson? I mean, are we signing players for the sake of signing them? I mean, Robert Tonyan, 80 speed, 93 hands. Yeah. I mean, let's do it. He wants I don't want to give him 5 years, though, not at that age. But we can bump this up to like 14. Try to give whoever our next quarterback is an opportunity. So let's complete the day. So the Ravens signed Verrett. So Barnes, favorite offer is ours. Brown, favorite offer is us. Edwards, favorite offer is us. Needham, favorite offer is us. Tonyan has got other offers, but the favorite is still from us. And look at this, the Bears looking to sign Tom Brady. All right, so we signed Jayon Brown. Okay, so we brought him back. Barnes, Edwards. Yeah, so we're still the favorite for all of those guys. We signed Tonyan, okay. Conklin signs with the Ravens. We're still in the lead for Needham, Edwards, and Barnes. There's Chris Barnes. Lions and the Bears are the only two teams looking to spend any money this year. We signed TJ Edwards. All right, so we signed Edwards, we signed Barnes, we signed Tonyan, we signed Brown. So we picked up three linebackers and a new tight end. So that helps. I mean, it gives our quarterback, which right now is Kenny Pickett, another target offensively. So we've got Hawkinson and Tonyan now as our two tight ends. So we can run a ton of two tight end stuff. Our linebacker room is a whole lot more solid now, being led by TJ Edwards. We still have $52 million under the cap. And it's time to scout the draft. Do we have any? So if we auto scout, yeah, this auto scout's going to go heavy into the first round. I mean, yeah, he doesn't do much beyond the first round. All right, let's can you undo everything, or do you have to like? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to unclick everything. All right, that's fine. Because we're picking 16th, so I don't know that we're gonna end up with a top 10 talent. We might be able to trade up, but quarterback is going to be a position of need for us. I don't think Kenny Pickett is our future. There are 3 quarterbacks that are listed in the top 10, so there might be something we can do to try to get into that top 10. I wish there was some way to clear all this, but I guess that's my fault. Not a problem. 3 quarterbacks in the top 10. I don't know if that means we're going to be able to land any of them, but we will see. All right, so you got Patrick Huff from Penn State, John Toney from Oregon State, and Robert McAllister from A&M. So we will go ahead and interview all of them because we certainly need a quarterback. You got Jeremy Lynch, a 4th quarterback listed in the top 10. Julius Howes from Coastal Carolina. Yeah, I mean, there's 5 quarterbacks that are listed to go in the first round. I mean, that's something that we are. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to go heavy into these quarterbacks because we definitely are going to need one. UCF. I mean, I guess I can just do it like this, right? Do I want to go heavy, that heavy into quarterbacks though? Tangibles. Yeah, I think I have to. Let's just go round 2 and round 3. We'll just go like that. Because we will end up with a quarterback in one of the first couple of rounds. I think we have to. So we're set at running back. I don't think we need to spend a whole lot of time dealing with running backs. There aren't any good running backs anyway. Guards. I think we could use a guard. We got Jonah Jackson. We're going to need a backup. We're going to need a tackle. Yeah, we're going to need a couple of offensive linemen here in the draft. Maybe a wide receiver. Maybe a wide receiver. That's something we're going to want to keep an eye on. I think our cornerback room is okay. Hughes, I mean, we're young. Hughes, Okuda, and Jacobs, all 26 and under. Our linebacker room is fine. Defensive tackle looks all right. A couple of 75s. We could use an end to go on the other side of Hutchinson. Strong safety. So offensive line, safeties. Yeah, I mean, let's look at the offensive line. Yeah, I mean, we'll just go down to through round 4, I guess. I can't scout them all. Not going to have that kind of scouting ability to do that. But I don't think it makes sense to scout a guard in the first round because we are likely to take a quarterback with our first pick. That's just the way it's likely to be. Tackles. Let's go down here and let's do some of this. Centers, I'm not really concerned about scouting, especially given that they're backups. Roy Perez, sure. 6'2", 249. I don't like that. I like the 6'6" guy out of Baylor. 6'5", 260 out of USC. And then safeties. 2 top 10 safeties. We're not going after a safety in the top 10. I can tell you that. But maybe in this area. All right, so that's all of our scouting. Sleepers. Matthew Hodges, Brian Tibbetts. Okay, these are names we'll try to keep an eye on, but we will see what they say. Oh. Los Angeles FC just won the MLS Cup. Good for them. Let's advance. And it's time for the draft. So Robert McAllister, that's who they have going first. If the Bears take Jeremy Lynch and they already have Justin Fields, I'm going to throw my computer out the window. John Toney, same thing. They've got Mac Jones. Yeah, they have Justin Fields. Why they would draft a quarterback, and he made the Pro Bowl. Okay, that is a little wonky. He threw 25 interceptions. So we'll have to see if the game maybe, there are some things in the game that are still not working quite right, but that's okay. So we don't have any extra picks this season. first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. I would like to pick up additional draft picks. We've got some players that I'm comfortable trading. Jameson Williams is young. Amon-Ra St. Brown is young. These guys are all really young. Kalif Raymond is 29. He's the one I think we should look to move. See if we can get a couple of draft picks for Kalif Raymond. He's our highest rated wide receiver as well, so I don't suspect that we'll be able to get anything super great for him, but we might be able to get a couple of mid-round picks. Does Cleveland want him? Why does my phone keep beeping? Georgia beat up on Tennessee as well. Let's do Kalif Raymond for a third and a fourth. A lot more than what we're looking for. What about just a third? A lot more. Okay, so maybe Raymond doesn't have that much value. They're also way over the cap. Not that. Wait a second. You shouldn't be. I want to look at something because I believe I have this set where you can't be over the cap. Import draft from history. Disable, turn off play-by-play, position changes. Yes, we're going to allow that. Allow signing from other players' depth charts. What am I looking for? Oh, cap space, right. That's what I'm looking for, cap. Yes. Exceed cap for extensions. Drop penalty percentage. Oh, look at that. Okay, I didn't even know that was there. Interesting. Okay, so that gives you the ability to essentially where you have to take a hit for cutting somebody. One of the things I definitely want to do is I want to bump this. The minimum you can pay a quarterback is $3 million. I think I want to do that with at least bump most of the minimums, especially on the skill positions, because I don't want elite players being signed for $500,000. So we'll start with that. Force a strict cap. I don't think I can do this year. I don't think that's fair because we've got so many teams that are probably over the cap right now. So I think I will enforce that next season. But let's get to the draft. All right. So let's pause. Let's go to the war room. Jeremy Lynch. Not a good leader, but great work ethic. Patrick Huff. Same thing. Not a good leader, but good work ethic. McAllister is the one they think is going to go first. Let's go a couple of picks here and see what happens. Okay, so McAllister does go first. Robert McAllister. The Bears now, they take Timothy Chambers, the defensive tackle. The Patriots take Callaway, a 97 overall strong safety. Holy crap. Okay. All right, so we're at number 4. The Colts, what do the Colts need? Does it say? Does it say what the Colts need? Let's just see who they take. Campbell. 98 overall wide receiver. The Giants now. Oh, Horton. Guard. A 100 overall guard. Okay. They need you. All right, so they think Lynch is the best pick available. He's 23 years old. We still have Lynch, Huff, and Tony. Yeah, see, I would go with Tony. Just looking at all of this stuff, A+ he only has a C arm, but an A+ accuracy. Lynch is an A- arm, C- accuracy. And Huff is A arm, A+ arm, C accuracy. So I think we go until one of these guys goes. And then I'm on the ST draft clock, by the way. What? I don't know what that means. What do you mean? I'm hoping these guys will just continue to fall. So let's see who the Saints take. The Saints, I think, need a wide receiver. Oh, whatever. I don't care. It can wait, or it can auto pick for me. Doesn't matter. All right, so they took Lynch. All right, so Lynch, 97 arm, 95 accuracy. Holy crap. Okay, he was a 97 overall. All right, so the Raiders are up. The Raiders have a quarterback. So I'm going to take a chance that they're not going to take one. They took Powell, defensive tackle. The Jets have a quarterback. I'm going to take the chance that they are not going to take one. Huff. They took a quarterback. Shoot. Okay. So we have who? We got Tony left. So we need to try to trade up, I think, to get Tony. So who is picking here? The Vikings. All right. Let's go talk to the Vikings. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care. Honestly, once I get past like my 3rd round pick, I don't really care. I can't be. So it's why I struggle to win in online leagues, because I can't be bothered to spend that much time focusing on it. All right, so what if I just give you Khalif Raymond and you give me like a 4th? A lot more. What if I give you Khalif Raymond? A lot more. They got Kirk Cousins, but he's 35 years old. I mean, it's reasonable to think that they would want it's reasonable to think that they would want a quarterback here. So what if I gave you a lot more? A lot more. Only moving up 6 spots here, man. A lot more. All right. Well, doesn't look like that's going to happen. I appreciate that. Thank you, Josh. But yeah, I am buried in this right now. Who do the Vikings take? Please don't take the quarterback. All right, they didn't. They took Madsen. 97 overall guard. Okay, so the Falcons need a quarterback. So let's see if we can talk to them. Yeah, they need a quarterback. So what if I give you a 3rd round pick next season? A lot more. Shit. They're going to take the quarterback. They are going to take the quarterback, and there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. We will see. They're going to take him, though. My guess is they are going to take John Toney. That would be my guess. Still have Julius Howes. Yeah, but he's not nearly as good. They're going to take Toney. They're going to take Toney, and it's going to make me nuts. All right. No, they didn't. Okay. The Chiefs don't need a quarterback. They took Olsen. All right, so we're getting there. So can we get the Dolphins pick? Can we get the Dolphins pick? Dolphins, first-round pick. I'll give you my first-round pick, and we'll give you a third-round pick a couple years from now. Not that one, though, because we're already giving up a pick that round. Let's do that one. A lot more. What about a second-round pick in 2026? Feels the deal is close. So is that just a... What about if I give you next year's second? Deal is close. Is it worth it? I don't think it is. Because I don't think the Dolphins are going to take a quarterback. They didn't. Okay. The Cardinals have Kyler Murray, so they shouldn't take a quarterback. They did. They did. They took Tony. I don't get this game sometimes. I just don't get it. That's really frustrating. Because now they have Kyler Murray. I mean, granted, Tony is listed as a better quarterback. That's really disappointing. All right. Yeah. I mean, there's no way I could have planned for that, right? There's no way I could have planned that a team with Kyler Murray would take a quarterback in the first round. But what are you going to do? All right. So still 5 top 10 players, including 3 wide receivers, which is something we need. Chauncey Santana, A+ arm, C accuracy. I mean, he looks pretty good. We got, where's the other one? Julius Howes is listed as a 41.6. Santana at a 41.5. So they're pretty even. We could take someone like Irwin Shaw. I mean, speed and hands are not particularly good. Then you got William Hoole, 23-year-old out of South Florida. All right, Josh, I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, maybe. All right, well, let's just get up to our draft, or up to our pick then, I guess. Panthers take Wilson. Jamie Wilson, a 98 overall running back. The Browns will take Howes. Okay, there goes the next quarterback. Okay. All right. Well, they want me to take a center, which isn't going to happen. So is it Chauncey Santana? The A+ arm, the C accuracy? I think it's Chauncey Santana, to the 22-year-old from Wake Forest. I think, what's his bio? He's content. 22 years old. He's got an A football IQ, A+ arm. He's going to be a pocket passer, but that's fine. I don't care. It's a stretch because there just aren't many options, but Jeremy Bolling's not nearly as good, even though this other stuff is there. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to take a bit of a stretch here in the first round. We're going to take Chauncey Santana, the quarterback out of Wake Forest. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get for Chauncey Santana. 92 overall, 92 arm, 86 intelligence, 90 accuracy. He's the definition of a pocket passer, but we can work with that. I am very, very happy getting a 92 overall quarterback in the first round of the draft. So that is really, really good. So I think we just continue. I mean, there's a ton of top of round one talent here. Do we want to try to make any deals. Again, I still would like to move Khalif Raymond. I mean, we don't really need him. So let's just talk to, I don't know, Philadelphia. You give me a third and a fourth for Raymond. A lot more. What about just a third? Deal is close. Okay, what about a fourth and a fifth? A lot more. What about a fourth and a sixth? Feel the deal is close. What about a fourth and a seventh? All right, what if you give me a third and I give you a fifth? Okay, so we pick up a third round pick. We give up a fifth. I'm okay with that. Anybody else we want to move? But who's making a lot of money that isn't ever going to play. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. Jameson Williams, only a 73 overall. Yeah, we've got 5 wide receivers. I may end up, if we can land one of those wide receivers in the draft, we now have a second and 2/3. Charles Harris is no good. Okay, so let's try to trade him. Let's find a team. Cincinnati. Charles Harris for a second and a third. A lot more. What about just a second? A lot more. Okay, what about a third and a fourth? Just a third. Just a tad more. Okay, so if you give me fourth and a fifth. Okay, so we're back to a lot more. So if I do, what if I get your second and I give you a fourth next year? Okay, I'm good with that. So now we have 2 seconds and 2/3. So let's go ahead and advance. We will sim up to our pick. All right, so we're picking 16th in the second round. Let's go to the war room. So we got a round 1 tackle available. A blocking, C- pass blocking out of Michigan. The AI wants us to take Jonas Wynn or Freeman Raymond, which I don't want to do. A couple of wide receivers here. Vance Vargas, a 22-year-old out of Clemson. C speed, A- hands. I don't love that. Ronald Cummins. There it is. Problem is we didn't scout him. Here we go. A 22-year-old out of Syracuse. I love the attributes. He's got A speed and A hands, rated as a 42 overall by our offensive coordinator. So Rob Doss is going to be our next pickup. Let's see what we get out of Rob Doss. 92 overall, 90 speed, 85 hands. Let's go. Great pick. Great pick for us. Let's go to our next pick. A lot of offensive players on this list here. Roy Perez. B speed. C tackling. 41 rated. Yeah, we need another defensive end on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson. I like the idea of taking Roy Perez. Let's see what he's rated. 89 overall. Okay. 87 strength, 81 speed. A speed rusher off the right side. I like that. Let's see what they say. Thoughts on this pick at 54? Come on. Think about it. Let me know your thoughts. It's a possibility, Wrestling Geek. It is a distinct possibility, but we have the money. Decent selection here. The draft, it seems like the draft is really, really good, and I wonder if that's a function of importing players from the college game. Like, I wonder if those players are just by default better. All right, so let's go to our next pick, which is in the 3rd round. So they want us to take another quarterback. They want us to take Thomas Gibbons, which I'm not crazy about doing. Is he even on here? Where is he? Not even listed here. All right, so there's still two first and second round talents available here in the third round. Jesse Galvin, again, A speed, F hands. Look at these grades, though. 22-year-old out of Notre Dame. How did he do at Notre Dame? 49 receptions, 716 yards. A charismatic mentor. I like that. Rudy Bishop. He's selfish, but he's a great blocker. A pass block. I don't know how accurate that is. Certainty is a 1, so he could be anything. Cervantes. B- pass blocking. C run blocking. Luis Ramirez. I think he might be the pick. A+ pass blocking. A run blocking. Yeah. I think Luke Ramirez will be our first third round pick. Let's see what we get out of him. Yeah, right. As like a look at that 92 overall. Yeah, there's something going on with the draft, and I wonder if this is like potential, right? Like if that's what he has the ability to reach. But a 92 overall third round pick with those types of rating, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it because everybody is getting them. But we're getting some really, really high rated players in this draft. All right, so we're picking again here, 21st overall. And it's so hard to pass up on another lots of quarterbacks still available. Tackle, wide receiver, Robert Taylor, A+ hands, F speed. I don't like that. Defensive ends, linebackers. I mean, again, we don't really need any linebackers. Jeffrey O'Leary. Where do we stand for strong safeties? Yeah, we're down to what round? 4th and 5th. B- speed, B tackling. And I think my guess is he's probably there next round. What do we got for running backs? 4th and 5th round are only available. Defensive tackles, late rounds, defensive ends. Yeah, we still have some good defensive ends. Keith Holloman was somebody I looked at because of his size. He was 6'6", 256. He's not particularly fast, and I want like fast edge rushers. That's kind of what it is I'm looking at. B tackling, B- speed. Scott Bain. Charles Otto, we didn't scout. Gardner, we didn't scout, but he doesn't look particularly good. I'm leaning towards Bain. What do we got for cornerbacks? We still got a couple of second-round cornerbacks. We didn't scout either of them, so we're literally going blind here. And it's hard to pass up on a wide receivers. Can we get another A speed F hands, D- speed C hands, F speed A+ hands? Can we get anybody who's good at both? A speed D- hands, A and F, A+ and F, A and D, B minus speed, A hands, but the certainty's only a 1. These guys are all certainties of 1 because I don't think we scouted any of them, right? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. We didn't scout any of those guys. Guards. Richard Carver. Good pass blocker. Looks okay, I guess. George Wick. 39.8. Is it Wick or Carver? Yeah, so Wick is the better of the two. I think we go Wick because we do need offensive line help. We'll take Wick. It's the first pick. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, there's something going on with the draft. To be able to just continuously draft players that are rated in the 90s to me seems a little wonky. So we may not import the college draft class next time. Honestly, defensive end. So Bain is still there. Yeah, I think we'll just take Bain. I mean, all these guys are gonna be rated in the 80s and 90s, so it doesn't really matter, I think, at this point. But yeah, 88 overall. Yeah, so I mean, it's again, everyone is getting those picks this year, so it's not not the end of the world, but all right, so we still have a couple of round 2. Yeah, I think we take Will. What's his name? Will Word. B minus speed, A hands. B minus speed, A hands. Again, it's only a 1 certainty because we didn't scout him, but we will pick up another wide receiver here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. Yeah, to get an 87 overall, 92 speed, 91 hand wide receiver in the 6th round, the draft is stacked, and that's fine because again, it's everybody is getting it, but it just means that I think that's our last pick actually. No, we have one more pick. But I think I'm going to not import the draft class next season. Yeah, I just think I'm not going to import the draft class. So we got Johnny Liu. A accuracy. Is Wolverine retweeting me? Well, thank you, Wolverine. Michael Joseph. Good run blocker. They want me to take David Dale. Where is David Dale? All listed as undrafted. It's a huge draft class. I think I may have done something wrong here because I think it may have loaded my draft class as well as because there's still 176 pages of draft of eligible players. So I have a feeling this is something that I did. So yeah. When you're in the 7th round and you still have 3rd round talent available, there's something off with that. So yeah, I think it's something on my end that I did. So we will sort that out. But I'm gonna take Michael Joseph. We need a center. And again, if we go, it's probably a pretty good pick. Yep. So yeah, everybody is getting loaded up with talent this year. And that is the end of the draft. So if we look at our roster now, like the best players on the team are all my rookies. Literally, Michael Joseph, Chauncey Santana, George Wick, Luke Ramirez, Rob Doss, Roy Perez are all my rookies. But, Will Word, Scott Bain, these are all my rookies. But again, this is something that every team got, so we just, it is what it is. So let's look at free agency, see what's available in said free agency. Or what's left, I guess. Come on. Just thinking about it. know what? First of all, what are we doing here, game? What are we doing? Okay. Yeah, the game is broken. The game is broken, folks, and that's a bit of a concern. I don't know if you saw what I saw before we walked away, before I went away, but you'll see as soon as it comes up here. And the problem is I don't have a backup save. Yeah, look at this. Well, this is disappointing. Again, it's got something to do with me importing the draft class, I think, but something is broken. That is disappointing. I don't know that I can fix it either, which is a shame. That is a shame. I don't know that I can fix it, guys. I think that this playthrough is borked after 1 year, and that's really upsetting. Yeah, that's upsetting. I guess you live, you learn, right? Like, now next time I don't import the draft class. Yeah, F is right, Breeze. So I think what I'm gonna do is this, because I want to keep playing. I want to keep playing. I'm having fun. So I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to I'm going to start over. Start over as the Lions. And I am going to sim through the season. And I'm going to do the first year offline. And this will fit into, this video will go into the playlist for this series, so that you guys can kind of see what happened. And then the next episode, I think, we'll pick up at this point, at the start of free agency after the draft, but I'm not going to import the draft class, and we'll just have to go back and do it again. And I'm fine with that, because we haven't gotten too far into this. It's only one season, and I can probably replay a season in an hour. So, because I won't be, watching the highlights and doing all that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll make the same two deals, potentially, if I can, picking up Kenny Pickett and whatever the name was of the wide receiver. I can't remember at this point. Rondale Moore. Yeah, and we'll pretend that none of this happened. We'll pretend that this was you guys just coming in and hanging out with me for an hour and a half on live stream, and none of this happened. So that's what we're gonna pretend. So and that will also give me an opportunity to kind of go in and screw with the financials a little bit, so I can go in and I can edit the edit the drop penalty, and I can edit all of this and try to tweak this to kind of where I want it, so that when we get to free agency, teams have more money and we'll force the strict cap. So I'll be able to go back in and kind of mess with that. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Because I want to see if I can win with the Lions, and that's gonna do it. That's gonna be it, I think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be it. So it's a little bit shorter than I would have liked, but crap happens, right? So that's kind of where we are with it. And I think I'm done. So thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out here with me for a little while tonight, guys. And I'll talk to y'all later.